What's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Capping at the Bay. I am your host, of course, Eric Cooley. And today, I will not just be covering the big game going on later today, the Super Bowl between the 49ers and the Chiefs, but instead, I will be covering probably the most talked about topic that has been going around this past NFL season. Is the NFL really rigged or scripted, if you will? I got the numbers, the stats to follow up. But before I get to anything, please do me a big favor and like and subscribe on both YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at Captain at the Bay. Also, before I get to anything, I want to shout out to everybody who tuned in to my last episode whenever I talked about UFC 297. Guys, 1,500 views. That is ridiculous. And I cannot thank you guys enough. I just do this for my hot takes, the debates that's been going on between me and my other buddies. But 1,500 views, that is the most viewed Captain at the Bay episode ever at just over 1,500 views. Guys, thank you so much for your love and support. And I will be doing more videos to cover the NFL, the UFC, things in that nature. And hopefully we could get it up to 2,000, maybe a lot more than that. Let's get into it. I want to start out the episode with what we've seen recently. That is the NFL Honors. This is the event to where we get to see all the amazing people that represented the NFL and give them the votes, like the Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, the MVP, things in that nature. Um, I mean, players like Lamar Jackson winning MVP, CJ Stroud winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, Joe Flacco winning the Comeback Player of the Year, all that was well deserved. But that was until this man, Myles Garrett, the defensive end for the Cleveland Browns, ended up winning the Defensive Player of the Year award. Now, of course, I'm a Steeler man. I got to give it for my boy TJ Watt for playing all 17 games and absolutely crushing. I mean, this is the quarterback's absolute nightmare. But to give it to this man was just ridiculous. I got the numbers here for between Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and Micah Parsons, who was another candidate from the Dallas Cowboys. I understand that Defensive Player of the Year, it's not based on sacks, even though TJ Watt won that category. These are the other stats between those three that TJ Watt led. It is tackles, solo tackles, pressures, quarterback hits, tackles for losses, forced fumbles, fumble recoveries, interceptions, pass deflections, and TJ Watt even got a defensive touchdown out of it. I I mean, TJ, he knew this was coming. He even played hooky instead of showing up at the NFL honors. I mean, he even put it out on social media that nothing I'm not used to. This man got snubbed for the second time for this title, even though that he surpassed all those categories between the other candidates. This part is where the NFL is rigged because of their awards. We just covered how the NFL is rigged. This is the part where I talk about where the NFL is actually scripted. Now, this is the list of games at an 8 week frame for the Kansas City Chiefs. At an 8 week time frame, the Chiefs were 3-5 and actually had a chance to lose their division title between either the Broncos, the Raiders, or the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, we even experienced a frustrated Patrick Mahomes in one of the games because of an obvious offensive offside penalty against them. Even though you check the tapes, it was clearly offside by Kadarius Toney, but because the refs were finally on the other side of Patrick Mahomes, we got to see this from Mahomes. He was very frustrated with the refs, saying that he's never seen a penalty like this before. We truly thought that this was the downfall of the Kansas City Chiefs. So of course, everybody had their money on the Kansas City Chiefs, at least making it as far as the Super Bowl this year. But because of that downfall, we were expecting somebody like the Baltimore Ravens to represent the AFC in this year's Super Bowl. And what you see here on YouTube is the color scheme for the Super Bowl. And somehow the NFL, they got it right. I mean, as you can see, they had the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams making it to the Super Bowl. Then the year after that, we saw the Eagles going against the Chiefs for the Super Bowl. We were expected to see the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. Uh, yeah, they were just the best AFC team at the end of the regular season. And according to this whole conspiracy theory, we were expected to see the Ravens, not the Chiefs. It wasn't until this man noticed something. I got the stats for this one exactly. Of course, we all know about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift in a relationship. You know, we thought it was just for the views. That it was part of the script, things in that nature. We didn't think it was real. But when Taylor Swift is in attendance for a Kansas City Chiefs game, her record is 10-3. But we kind of expected, oh, seeing as how Taylor Swift is going to be here, they're going to win. But 10-3, that's still a pretty ridiculous number. The Buffalo versus Kansas City divisional game, it was actually up 10% from last season's divisional round. It even peaked at a whopping 56.25 million views that Sunday evening. What does that man see? He sees views, he sees money coming, rolling into the NFL. It was even reported that CBS said its broadcast reached an average of more than 55 million people for the Chiefs' 17-10 victory against them. It broke the previous mark for an AFC title game set in 2011 when the Steelers beat the Jets. In addition, CBS said that it was the network's most watched non-Super Bowl program in 30 years, dating back to the 1994 Winter Olympics. Views equals money. That's what Roger Goodell sees. He was like, we need to find a way to get Taylor Swift in attendance because that's just going to make him more money. So because of that, we have a civil war here in America. It is the Swifties versus the true NFL fans. We are rooting for this man, Brock Purdy, and the 49ers to get the job done. As a Steeler fan, you know, the other Steeler fans, they do not want this to happen because if they win it, then they are at title number 6, which is tying both the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if that happens, they actually have a better chance of winning another one before the Steelers do. But because of this whole Taylor Swift in attendance, it's all entertainment. It's all just for the money. You might as well call the NFL the new WWE because it's nothing but entertainment. In the end, I truly believe that the Chiefs will win this, and we're going to have to hear the whole is Patrick Mahomes the true GOAT of the NFL? I truly believe that once they win, Kelce is going to run straight to Taylor Swift instead of his mom, even though we all know she's going to be in attendance. Kelce's going to go straight to Taylor Swift. He's going to propose right there on the spot. And it's just going to be the perfect Cinderella story for the NFL. And Roger Goodell gets more money out of this. The outcome of the game, I believe that Chiefs will win this in the final seconds like they did last year against the Eagles. It is going to be 31-27 for the Kansas City Chiefs and putting them at 4 Super Bowl wins in the NFL. Guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. Like I said before, make sure you guys like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify, and make sure to follow us on Instagram at Captain at the Bay.